Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Spokane County leaders have until Thursday to come up with a plan to clear the homeless camp near I-90 in Freya if they want access to $24 million in state funding. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking at some ideas officials have already started to pitch. Kyle?
Well, Spokane is among 5 counties that have access to these state funds, but they aren't guaranteed. The Department of Commerce first wants to know how local leaders would use the money, and every penny has to be spent on relocating and rehousing people living at the homeless camp near I-90 in Freya. Now, local leaders have shared what they plan to do with 30% of the funds, or about $7.5 million. Those actions include adding more space at the Trent shelter and buying a motel on the Sunset Highway. Now, officials are not ready to say which building exactly, but it would have enough space for about 110 people. County leaders have until Thursday to submit plans for the other $17 million, but tonight, Spokane Valley City Council members said they have concerns and decided not to sign on to the regional proposal.
I agree that Camp Hope is not a good situation over there. Not from what's going on there. It's not a good situation. It needs to be broken up. It needs to do something different. I just don't see a mega facility, regardless of where it would be at, is a good solution for that.
And Spokane Valley City Council members suggested coming up with their own proposal, but again, the Department of Commerce has given counties until this Thursday to submit a regional plan. According to Jules Helping Hands, the homeless camp has grown to more than 600 people. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. We're learning more about the man killed in a road rage shooting on I-90 on Friday. He's been identified as 34-year-old David Kniffley, a father of a young girl.
We're all broken. His friends don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to handle it. His mom's barely handling it.
Kniffley had a lot of friends around Spokane. The 34-year-old graduated from Gonzaga Prep and was an aspiring tattoo artist. His former girlfriend of 7 years says he also leaves behind a young daughter. The Spokane County Medical Examiner says Kniffley died from a gunshot wound to the back. He was heading eastbound on I-90 near the Thor Freya exit on Friday night when police say he was involved in a road rage incident. The other driver who fired the gun has still not been caught. Kniffley crashed through a fence near the Appleway exit. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The Washington State Patrol is investigating the homicide. They interviewed several witnesses that night and believe the suspect is an African-American man driving a white Chevy Malibu type of vehicle. An independent investigation into the officer who shot and killed a man who was holding a knife to a baby has concluded. That shooting happened back in January. Police were called to the home near Chief Gary Park, and that's where they made contact with a woman but had difficulty getting information due to a language barrier. Police then entered the home where they saw the man holding a knife to the baby. According to court documents, officers tried to de-escalate the situation, but the man went upstairs with the child, and officers said they believe that man might try to light a can of kerosene on fire and cause an explosion. The officers shot the man inside the house. He later died. An investigation into the shooting has been completed. Its findings have been delivered to the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office for review. 8 people are arrested at a Spokane Valley hotel in connection with a drug operation. Spokane Valley SWAT team simultaneously served search warrants on 2 rooms at a hotel located on East Sprague, just east of Pines Road. Inside, detectives recovered fentanyl pills and pills believed to be laced with fentanyl and dozens of mostly empty fentanyl vials, along with scales and packaging used for the sale of drugs, according to deputies. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. All right, let's talk weather now, because after a cool start to the work week yesterday, the heat returned today. Meteorologist Michelle Boss in for Jeremy tonight. And Michelle, what can we expect going forward this week?
Temperatures are going to be getting warmer, and a warm afternoon where we saw highs in the mid-80s has led to a pretty mild evening as well. As we take a look at temperatures across the region at the 10 o'clock hour, still sitting in the mid-70s in Spokane and a very mild 71 in Coeur d'Alene. Still in the lower 80s in Wenatchee, lower 80s in Lewiston as well. It's cooled down just below 70 in Pullman and Moscow. But we've got a clear screen screen here for satellite and radar. It was hardly a cloud in the sky today, and of course no rainfall, and we're looking at dry weather over the next couple of days. In the short term, clear skies tonight, cooling comfortably into the upper 50s and lower 60s overnight. Plenty of sunshine, so temperatures will warm up quickly, and we're headed towards 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon and for Thursday as well. Slight chance for a shower Thursday night into Friday morning, and that'll cool us down just a little bit on Friday with a high of 86.
Sounds good, Michelle. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Well, today there was an explosion at the Hoover Dam. Check out this video posted to social media. It shows the explosion and a large plume of black smoke rising from the bottom deck of the dam. According to fire officials, that fire was caused by an exploding transformer. The Boulder City Fire Department said the fire was extinguished when crews arrived. There were no injuries to visitors or employees. There was also no risk to the power grid, and power has still been generated from the dam. Officials are still investigating the exact cause of that fire. Well, today the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to codify the right to same-sex marriage nationwide and strengthen other marriage equality protections.
It simply says each state will recognize the other state's marriages and not deny a person the right to marry based on race, gender, sexual orientation.
This bill is simply the latest installment of the Democrats' campaign to delegitimize and attempt to intimidate the United States Supreme Court.
The Respect for Marriage Act passed with a vote of 267 to 157. 47 Republican House members voted in favor of the bill. Eastern Washington Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers voted against the bill. Her Republican colleague Dan Newhouse, who represents much of Central Washington, voted in favor of the legislation. The bill was drafted after lawmakers feared those rights could be overturned by the Supreme Court, which last month overturned Roe v. Wade and abortion rights, saying they are not specifically mentioned in the U.S. Constitution. Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers released the following statement regarding the passage of this bill. She says the bill does not change what the Supreme Court has already decided. She went on to say that Democrats, she says, don't have the answers for the crisis that she says they have created. Well, history buffs have a reason to celebrate in North Idaho. 2 World War II planes have landed at the Coeur d'Alene Airport. Those planes are at the airport. They are a B-17 and a B-25, both of which were built all the way back in the 1940s. The B-17 that's on display flew in the Pacific during the war and was an aerial bomber. It is only one of 4 in the world that are still flying. The B-25 is a combat plane that flew 15 missions in the Mediterranean in 1944. Marty Post, the executive officer of Air Base Arizona, says the planes are a good reminder of the people who fought during the war.
To honor the men and women who flew these airplanes in World War II, and also to honor the men and women who currently serve in the armed services, and educate. Let these youngins come out here, so to speak, and take a look at these airplanes and kind of get a little history of what it was like to operate these airplanes in that type of environment.
Well, take a look at this. The bottom of the planes features signatures of people who flew in the planes. Coeur d'Alene is a stop on the West Coast tour that's done every summer. The planes still have 8 more tour stops to go. The warplanes will be at the Coeur d'Alene Airport through the end of the week before moving to Walla Walla. Ground tours are $15 a person, and people can have the chance to fly in one of the planes Friday through Sunday. Those tickets are more than $400. What a cool experience. Idahoans have been left waiting weeks for new license plates due to a machine maintenance issue. The Idaho Transportation Department says the machine used to make Idaho license plates broke back on June 8th. Usually, Idaho gets license plates out to people within 30 days of registering their cars. The broken machine won't be up and running until July 29th. Idaho Correctional Industries has a partnership with IDT where inmates make the license plate. ICI says it'll work overtime to catch up with the backlog. It anticipates taking a few weeks to catch up, though. ICI estimates people may get plates a week to 10 days late. Washington's primary election just 2 weeks away now, and we want to help you get to know our local candidates. This year, 3 women are running against incumbent Larry Haskell for Spokane County prosecutors. And again, we want you to get to know these candidates. So KREM 2's Amanda Rowley met with each candidate over tea to learn about where they stand on important issues. And tonight we start with Larry Haskell. And one of the topics that Amanda asked him about was racist comments that his wife made online.
The comments were reprehensible, but that those are not my views. I don't share them, and I certainly don't practice them in my professional life.
But how can you say your wife's opinion doesn't affect you?
Well, this is just a snippet of Amanda's conversation with Haskell. You can watch that entire interview on the KREM 2 YouTube page. As we continue these interviews with the candidates, we will continuously upload them to our YouTube page. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. We're back after a quick break.